Hello everybody, this is Jacob from Wager Me This. Let me see if I can adjust this. I always have a problem with it. I hate how the YouTube on the live videos, it doesn't give you the same video as the recorded videos. I hate that. And that has to do with your phone, my phone. See, I'm saying your guys' phone like you guys are the ones doing it, but I just hate how that works. I don't like that at all. Hopefully it looks pretty good on y'all's end. It looks a little fuzzy on my end, but I think that's just my camera in my phone. But anyway, let's play some craps. I want to talk about some craps, play some craps, play some stuff that people want to see maybe. Another thing is I want to talk about hybrid play because for whatever reason that's been a little bit of the talk. Just interesting stuff going on. Crap Strategies Live has made some videos. My buddy used to make a lot of videos on bubble craps, and he's back to making videos. I always liked his. Yeah, buddy, yeah, buddy. I always liked that. Just interesting stuff going on. Craps world is huge now. It's grown so big, especially with the bubble craps guys that blew up. Awesome for them, man. They've done great things. Guys have over 500,000 subscribers and stuff. Just amazing. Now, I know that they don't only do craps. Bluff doesn't only do craps, but most of his channel is craps, I would say. Like the good majority of it is craps content. So now he doesn't put out strategies or anything. He just goes crazy every time, which is cool. He does play a little bit of lay bets. But anyways, just a great creator. Same thing with Greg. I'm not going to try to butcher his last name. Makes great content. Plays like crazy on the Bubble Craps machine. You guys have done a great job. They've brought a whole different genre of players, a different demographic of players in. They're fun to watch. So it's just interesting. Those guys are really interesting in the way they play. It's very different than most craps players in the YouTube world play, right? Like most YouTube craps players aren't just throw your money out there, press, 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 press. It's like a very unusual thing in our world. Now, it's not that unusual in the craps world. It actually is pretty common in the craps world. Even before these guys were making content, it was pretty common. But it just when they're making it on the bubble craps, and it's spread. Like there's a bunch of channels doing it now, which is cool. Same thing that happened when guys like Jeremy from Color Up and El Toro and stuff made their first videos. They spawned channels like mine. Like my channel was spawned off Jeremy's channel essentially, because even the way my channel looks is somewhat similar to Jeremy's, and the content, especially early on, was very similar to Jeremy's. Now he does way better video production than I could ever do. I don't produce any video, but just and so on and so forth. You know, he spawned other players to make content, and then those players spawned more and more and more and more. Next thing you know, this Bubble Craps group came through, and they're spawning all these other ones, which is great because every time a new channel comes, that's a new circle of people that are going to end up probably watching the other channels, and that's kind of how YouTube works in a way, like in a very simple way. That's the way it operates. Okay, $1,000 bankroll. That's 500 green, 100 red, 400 in the black. So if you guys have any suggestions for something you might want me to roll or something, I will. But mostly what I'm going to do is I'm going to play like a hybrid style with combination elimination dice setting. I know a lot of people probably don't fully understand what that is, but it's just something that I've been working on where I directly try to avoid a certain combination of dice when I get my don't point, and it's worked pretty well. And it's worked pretty well at the casino. It's actually been the best way to play I've ever found. And I use it with hybrid. All right, so let's go 150 on the don't. Now I do, when I play this, I play the ATS and the C&E with this when it plays, but I can't see the ATS and stuff like that, so we just play it like this. But I actually cover the C&E as well when I do this. So when I'm on the don't, I go 15 on the E, 10 on the C, and then I usually go 10, 5, 10 on the ATS. But in this case, I can't see all that, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to play it like this. All right, so on the come out, we're just trying to roll a come out winner. And this is why I play the C&E right here, because the dice set that I use, the 1, 2, 1, 3, it rolls a lot of 11s, a lot. So I would have been on the E right there, and I would have won my money back. So that's why I do that. I actually would have won a little bit of money, right? I would have profited just a little bit. But that's why I like to cover it, because the dice set that I throw, I tend to get a lot of sevens, or not sevens, but 11s, and a lot of horn numbers. Three, 2, 5. Not bad. We'll take it. Again, we're playing hybrid here. So what I'm going to do is whatever I roll for the number, the 3, 2 here, or 2, 3 in this case, I'll put the 2s on top, 3s in the middle. And the way it works, the combination elimination, dice control, the way I've developed this is if I put the 2s on top and the 3s are kissing, or they're in the middle, my thought process here is that it's really hard for me to roll a 3, 2 with those in the middle. I have to have something really bad happen for that to happen. Now, if I put them like this, it's a lot easier to roll a 3, 2, right? Like, it's a very common number on that dice set. This, it's very uncommon. And so that's the idea behind it. So we'll be rolling 2s on top, 3s in the middle. Let's, normally if I get the 5, 6, or 8, I play the iron cross. And I like to put odds on my don't. I like to win at least $50 in odds. So we'll put 75 there. And the reason, it's not that my don't doesn't cover what I'm doing. I can make it cover what I'm doing. I just use that as my 7 winner. I'm putting this on here so I win on the 7. This is so I win on everything else. Now, something I want to point out about this combination elimination dice control is that this, setting the 2, 3 version of it, will do nothing for the 4, 1. So if I roll a 4, 1, I just roll a 4, 1. Same thing with every other. The only combinations that I'm trying to manipulate are the ones that I'm specifically targeting. All I'm doing is trying to make my odds better. Six, 1, 7. This is why I like having some odds on the don't. That way my 7 wins. Here we go. Remember we had to come out 11 that we should have had hedged. $150 on the flat, 75 on the odds. And I like to go up $50 each time I win on the 7. Each time a 7, I don't roll my point, I hit a 7. I like to go up $50. That progresses this as well, helps me with my light side. Now, if I roll a loser here, I start back down. No matter if I'm at 600, I start back down at the 150. And it's just part of the progression. I'm trying to build the attack up as I'm going. I don't want to throw it all out there in one roll, but if I build it up over 4 or 5, not so bad. Hard 4. So now, instead of the iron cross, because I don't have the 5, 6, or 8, I'm going to play across the numbers. Play odds to win on the 7, so I'll have 100 in odds. And then my first win, I'll cover the hard 4. All right. In this case, I didn't necessarily have to put the 100 in odds down there because the 7's already valuable. That's up to you. I do like to put it on the 4 though, or the 10 for sure, because you're a 2-to-1 favorite. And after the first win, we're going to knock out the hard way part of it. So then we're going to be even more of a favorite. We should, in a sense, once you knock the hard way out, you should actually, if your combination elimination dice control works, you should actually have no chance of rolling the 4 if you're doing it right. Right? So we're going to put 3s on top and 1s in the middle is how we're going to do it. What's up, Waylon? And that's going to be the idea here. 3s on top, 1s in the middle. We're going to try to dodge the 3-1 that way. Again, we could roll the 2-2 here before we have any coverage on it. You could put it on there right now. But I like to use the profit to do it. Didn't get an opportunity, but that's why we put them odds out there. 4, 3, 7. We'll take it. So far, we haven't had a chance to really roll anything because it's just PSOing. Which is fine in our case. We'll win 50 in the odds, 200 in the flat. We'll go up to Jacob. We'll go up to 250, like I said. Okay. So remember we lost the 150. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. We're up probably $25. Remember we lost that initial come out roll. So that we should have had hedged with the 11. Again, that's why I do that. Oh, 5, deuce, 7. Now this is where I get in trouble in my strategy a little bit, is on these come out rolls where I'm progressing this don't. Sometimes I'll get in trouble when I roll 7s. It's part of it. Other times I don't. Other times it builds and builds and builds. Back down to 150. That's going to put us on the 9, 6, 3. Again, this is going to push us across the numbers. Now, one of the things that, for example, we'll use Wayland here. One of the things in Wayland's strategy, the retirement thing, is he goes for like one hit and then plays against the number. I like there to be top end in my strategies. I like there to be potential for a big win, the light side to go crazy. So that's why I play the strategies I play and the way I play them. I want there to be the potential to press all the way up. Even if we end up knocking our dome off, I want, because there's times where you roll 10, 15 numbers before the point hits, and you can make a ton of money there. And that's where my strategies tend to live in that realm. All right, we got 75 in odds, 150, 135 across, 150 on the don't. So we have 200 potential on the don't, 135 across. We haven't had very many rolls, so we're going to go 6s on top, 3s in the middle. Ouch. It did not work. I did not make it work. I got smacked right there. That also happens. Sometimes I fail at what I'm trying to do. It's not foolproof. It works enough of the time for me to like it. Again, like I've shown before, it misses 7 out of 10 times or so. Ouch. I am having a brutal night here on this come out. An 11 and 2 come out 7s. I need to get some more chippies. I'm almost out of my $1,000. That's 4 come out losers, 2 11s, 2 7s. That's kicking my butt. It's not me hitting points. I've hit 1 point out of all the points that I have set. So that smoked me. Again, I don't think I can do anything about the 7 or 11. Well, I could probably do something about the 11. I could probably try to miss the 11. But the 7, I just eat that. It is what it is. I'm going to lose on it on the don't because I don't think you can avoid the 7. I think it's going to come when it comes. All right, so that part of the video is over. Got crushed on the come outs. The rest of it was working okay. Just the come outs were absolutely murderous. 4 losers. That's that's at least $600 out of the 1,000 right there at 150 a pop. So it's hard to win that way. Anyways, that was kind of the combination elimination thing. Didn't get a lot of run there, did it? So we can just do it a different way. We can just shoot and we'll roll a point and then try to dodge it, right? See how many times we can do it. So let's do that. Because the strategy part of this and come out 7s are wrecking me right now. Now that's why a lot of people like the DC. But remember, I would have lost twice on that too. Yeah, but Waylon, I would have lost twice on that too because I rolled 2 points and then I PSO'd on those. So I would have lost on those too. I'm going to talk about that really quick. The DC and the DP there's no difference in them. The probability is the same of losing. The only difference in them is that you're not playing against the point. even the perceived difference that one shooter can't beat you a bunch, well, you can still just get beat consecutively on this. You know, it's going to be shots between it, but every time you put a DP or DC out, it could lose. It could lose the exact same way as the DP, the same exact numbers. So there's not actually any mathematical advantage either way, no matter which one you use. Now, there's a perceived advantage to it. You know, when you're here, one shooter can't wreck you, but multiple shooters in a row could PSO easily. It happened. In fact, I just did it. I just PSO'd twice in this video. It made me money, but it would have lost here. I would have got crushed here. So it's not, there's no mathematical advantage to any of that. But anyways, I'll get some chips just because it makes it funner with chips. We'll get 10 black chips and we'll just play the DP. Or I can roll a point and then we can do the DC. I mean, that's fine. We'll do it that way. Won't make any difference because there's no mathematical difference to it. It's a perceived difference. All right, so let's roll as a point real quick. There's a 9, okay. So now I'm going to play that, so I need to roll another point really quick. But once you put this bet out here, it has the exact same chance to lose as this did. You just can't lose to one shooter a bunch of times in a row. There's the 9, okay. So the point hit, so if we'd have been here, we'd have lost. All right, so now I'm going to try to do some combination elimination, right? I'm going to use the 6-3. I'll put 6s on top, 3s in the middle. And I'm going to try to win. Five, 2, 7, so that was quick. So right there, that's essentially a PSO too, you know. It just, I know that thought process on the DP versus the DC is common. I know that. This is going to sound crazy, but it's the exact same probability, Waylon. It's the exact same probability. When you make it sound different when you say PSOs, but it's the exact same probability to roll a 7 or 11 on every roll of the dice. It's the exact same. And so it's a perceived difference. All right, so our next play is going to be 200. There's an 8. Now we're going to play the DC. Now, I will agree, it does seem like that it happens more often that you have multiple come-out winners in a row, right? Like multiple 7s and 11s in a row. It does seem that way. But that's only because this situation can't happen in a row. It can happen every other roll, but it's still the same probability of the loser after loser happening. It's not a different probability. And that, I know it's a hard thing to, because the way the game plays, and I argue this a lot with a lot of other strategies, the way the game plays does not lend to seeing 5 PSOs in a row, but it does lend to seeing 5 come out winners in a row. But the actual probability is the exact same. And there's a 7. So that right there was a PSO. We just lost on this. We didn't lose here, we lost here. So every that we won here the last time, now we lost here this time. All right, let's roll a point. 10. Put our DC out. we're going to roll to the 5. Now I'm going to attempt combination elimination. So far I'm 1-0 on it. It's just taken a while because I have to roll 4 times before I get a chance to do it. But we'll mark them out here. We had 1 win. What we're trying to do. I'll go 3s on top and 2s in the middle. Well, Waylon, it's not whether we're agreeing or disagreeing on it. It's the math of the game. The math doesn't change. And I'm not trying to fight you on anything. And I understand why it seems the way it seems. And I understand why you have search shooters that roll a bunch of come out winners. But I've also seen tables where I see PSO after PSO after PSO. I've seen that too, as much as I've seen one guy roll 5 come out winners. So it's not anything I'm trying to argue with anyone on or anything. It's just the math of the game. Anytime you put that bet out, it has the exact same probability to win or lose. There's a hard 8. All right, remember we're going 3s on top, 2s in the middle. There's the 10, that's the point. It's not going to affect us here. We're still going to do 3s on top, 2s in the middle. That's a 6 right there. What's up, Leo? How are you, sir? Four, 3, 7. So that's our winner right there. And again, that would have lost on the DC. If you were playing it after the point, you would have lost on the DC right there. All right, here we go. We set a point. There's aces, that's not a point. There's an 8, that's our point. Now we're going to set a don't come point. It's not an 11, guys. Oh yeah, I won again. Combination elimination win. Let's see how far we can run up these $100 chips. And again, like, I'm not trying to be argumentative on any of them points. I'm just saying that each and every one of those is separate. There's the 8, okay. This is going to travel. Now I'm going to try to dodge the 8, so I'm going to use 5s on top, 3s in the middle. See if we can dodge again. I'm 2-0 so far on the trying to dodge in this part of the video. Oh, I failed. Fail. Because that was what I was trying to dodge, was the 5-3. Bang. We'll put a red one for the failures. So I want to talk about this really quick because 1 out of 3 is enough to win if you don't progress. If you don't press 1 out of 3. If you can do this 1 out of 3 times, that's enough to win. But that's if you don't press. I prefer to press, so it takes more like 7 out of 10 if you're going to press. Oh, we don't do this yet. We're just using the DC here. Okay, here we go. Yep, we can do that in a minute, Bam. Yeah, and again, Waylon, I agree with you. I think that from the way craps players play the game, the come out winner runs seem more common than the PSO runs. And if we added up everyone's opinion, I think 90% of people are going to say that's the case. But the math doesn't say that. The math says that it's the exact same. But I agree. There's other semantics in the game that I think that the math doesn't actually represent what gameplay looks like. And one of those is the ATS. The math doesn't represent the gameplay. The math says the ATS is terrible. But most of the time I've seen people win big wins lately, it's on the ATS. They get these big ATS wins. And so the math doesn't match it really. Anyways, let's roll us a point. There's a come out 7. Okay. There's a 5. Okay. Put our DC out there. We need a point for it. There's a 4. That's a good one for us, right? We have less to dodge. We're going to put we'll put the 1s on top and the 3s in the middle. Let's see if I can. Now, here's one of the arguments right here, right? How much am I really doing here, dodging the 4? Like, how effective am I really being? Yeah, possibly. That I agree, Waylon. That could change it a little bit too. That could definitely be the truth. But like on the 4 and the 10, like how much dodging am I really doing? I'm already a huge favorite to win, right? But if I can avoid that completely, that's even better. So the only one I should roll here is the hard 4. I should dodge the 3-1. There's the 11. Okay. Five, 1. Not a 3. It rolled. 4, 2. 4, 2, 6. That's back-to-back 6s. Yo, 11. I'll try to keep them out of there. I hate it when I roll it in this corner. I think I get bad results. That's the result we were looking for right there. 6-1. All right. Three and 1 on my combination elimination. There's an 11 on the come out. Hard 10. That's the point. Now let's set our DC. We're going to go 200. Remember, we're trying to get a run on it, trying to build this up, try to get 800 maybe. Hard 4. All right, we're 3-1, 3-1 again. 3's on top, 1's in the middle. See if we can dodge it. There we go. Right at the gate, 617. Oh, that was a lot, Wayland. Got to read all that. Let me read that again. I'm not 100% sure what you're asking when you don't know which combo is coming. I guess in that case it's 50-50, right? But we won here. That was not a 4-1. That was a 6-1, guys. Now we're 4-1 on our combination elimination, which is really good. And that's why we have $400 for our next bet. So let's set us a point. Here's another 11. And a 7. So right there's that run that the DC doesn't have to worry about. And an 11. That's 3 in a row. And this is what me and Waylon are talking about, is that you see this sometimes on the come out, where you see a bunch of come out winners in a row, and that crushes DP. And what I was saying is that every time you put this bet out there, you have the same amount of chance to lose it. And what Waylon's saying is, yeah, but you avoid this run. And he's right about that. You avoid one shooter wrecking you. That's definitely true. And there's a 5. But see, that was not a 4, guys. It was a 5. See, that was a 3 DP loser run right there. 3 DP loser. Tough. Wreck you. But right here, the second we put that out there, we have the exact same probability to lose that we did on all 3 of those. And that's the problem in lies, that this is more of a preference or a perception than actuality. But you definitely have those runs, and they definitely seem kind of common. Like, I feel like every session you have a guy that rolls 4 or 5 come out winners kind of in a row. I think that kind of happens about every session. And to argue Waylon's side of this, you don't really see that with the PSO, right? What's up, Larry? You don't see necessarily 4 PSOs in a row. It's kind of uncommon. At least it seems that way, right? But the math says it doesn't change. All right, set a don't point here. Oh, deep DC winner. $400. If you get this to happen and you're at 400 on your DC, guys, don't stack it. Rack that money. We're going to stack it, though. Play that 400 DC for free. All right, here we go. We'll get to some lay stuff after we see what happens on this one. The 10. Wow. Look at us go. So now we're going to put the 4s on top, the 6s in the middle. We're going to try to win. That'll be 5-1 to our combination elimination dice control, at least what we're perceiving as working. But we're going to put 4s on top, 6s in the middle, try to dodge that 6-4. Again, we're not doing anything for the hard 10. In this case, if I had 800 out there, I'm definitely hedging the hard 10, at least to get 700 back. I definitely would. In this case, we're not. We're going to just attack it, see what happens. Smacked the 5 point. This is a come out. We're still going to roll the combination elimination against the 10. Try to get the 7. I'll still keep track of the puck. Doesn't really matter for us. Bang! Right there, baby. 5 deuce. That's what we like to see. That was 800. So we were 1. Three combination eliminations in a row. We had a come out winner in there too, or a DC winner. So there was actually 4 winners in a row. And that is why our $1,000 110 10 $100 chips turned into $2,300. And again, I went 5 and 1 on the combination elimination, which I feel like is pretty damn good, right? I feel like if I'm doing 5 and 1 consistently, I'm actually accomplishing it, right? 6 ways to roll a 4 and 10 combined with 6 ways to roll a 7. We don't know which combinations are coming for 10. Hold on. Yeah. Why wouldn't this? I wish they would just stay up there. Yeah, that's a true story. I don't know if what you're referring to is on this. What I'm doing, I'm not really sure. But what I'm saying is, when you can't do the combination elimination with the 7, you can with the other numbers, and the reason is because the 7, the 2's on this side, so there's no way to put it in the middle. So any other number, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, not, I guess not 2 and 12, but even the 3, you can do it, right? But anyways, someone wanted to lay the 5. Bam, you said something about laying the 5 and doing something, and I'll try to dodge the 5 repeatedly. We can do that. Tell me the kind of strategy you want to play. 5 iron cross or 5 cross betting, and I'll just try to repeatedly dodge the 5, see how many times we can get it done. Just tell me which way you want me to play it so I know how to set it up. Yeah, I'd love to talk too, man. Anytime I can get enlightened by another's. Lay the 5 through there and 200 for the iron cross. Gotcha. I don't know if that's the way you mean it. On the 200 for the iron cross, the 90 and 90 and 20. 60, okay, 25 field. Gotcha. Because we want to make the 7 win. Good point. Good call. All right. So this would be like you guys playing this and me at the table shooting if I can repeatedly eliminate the 5, right? So let's use combination elimination. The first run at it, we'll use 4s on top, 1s in the middle. So in this case, I'm trying to dodge the 4-1. It's not going to do anything for the 3-2, but let's see what happens. And I'll set the point whenever. The point doesn't matter in this one, so. Yeah, that's true. 5 is the double loser in the field. You're only losing a quarter. The 7 is heavily outweighing that. I don't have a problem with that. All right, so let's keep up our run here. Obviously everything's working. Yeah, 100%. This is a pretty good way to play. There's nothing wrong with playing like this, as long as you don't hit the 5, right? I mean, anything else is great. Four, 2, 6. It's going to end up winning $45 per 6 and 8, $25 per horn unless you get the 2 or the 12. Again, we're going to roll 4s on top, 1s in the middle, Try to eliminate the 4-1 combo and see if we can smash this cross here. Six, 4, 10. Kind of scares me a little bit there. Because that 6, that was close to a 5. Way closer than you might think. Right? Doesn't seem like it, but if that's just on the other side, bam. All right, but that's roll 2. That was a short roll. Didn't hit the wall. We can count it or not count it. I'll count it. 10. Four, 3, 7. Now I know you said 3 hits and down or whatever, but I'm just going to roll it to see if I can dodge that the whole time. We'll call this line the first run, right? That's the first run we did. This will be the second run. Oh, you want to pull down play for the 7. Gotcha. Okay, I like that. We'll do that. Yeah. All right, so, but I didn't do that here, but we'll do that from here on out, Bam. Gotcha. We'll do that from here on out. Right here, that's wins 200. What is that? 120, 145, minus 10, right? So that's, we're going to win 45. Try it again. Put all our money back, you know, whatever. We would put all the money back. You know what I mean? Because you're going to win the 200. We're just going to keep playing this. We'll just rack up chips. So that was our first. That's our first win. We'll put that in the middle. All right, go again. This time we'll try to dodge the 3, 2. We'll go 3s on top, 2s in the middle. 3s on top, 2s in the middle. We're trying to dodge the 3, 2. We're looking for 3 hits, and then we're going to play for the 7. That's the 12. One hit. That's the 9. Hit number 2. 2 hits. Five, 1, 6. That's going to be our third hit. It's going to net 45. All right, now I'm going to turn the iron cross off. Field is off too, guys. I just don't want to take it down. And then we're going to play for this. So I'm going to try to win $190 up here. Same deal here. We're trying to dodge the 3, 2. If the 4, 1 burns us, it just burns us. That's perfection. 4, 3, 7. win 190. Start over. Combination elimination 2. So we made it through 2. This time we'll try to dodge the 4-1. I'll put the 4s on top, 1s in the middle. Hard 10. Win number 1. Hard 6. Win number 2. Back-to-back hard 6s for all the hard way parlayers. Just got paid. That'll be win number 3. John from Pro Craps. He's going to turn our bets off. That's actually a lammer of his. You guys want to see? He gave me these a long time ago. All right. Now we're trying to dodge the 5. Still same thing. We're trying to dodge that 4-1. But this time, iron cross is off. We're playing for 190 right here. Five, 3, 8. I hate it when the dice do that right there. When they smack each other, I hate that. I agree. I love the iron cross. Four deuce. Again, we're just trying to dodge the 4-1. If the 3-2 burns us, it just burns us. One, two, three. My dice are getting a little bit too aggressive. I'm going to have to slow them down a little bit. That's why they're jumping so far out. That's a bad thing. Oh, that's not the one. We succeeded in our mission of trying to dodge the 4-1, but we got whacked on the 3-2, and that's just part of it. You can't dodge both combos. At least I haven't figured out a way. All right. So we would return that money. We're not going to worry about that. But that was actually a successful endeavor. We did dodge what we were trying to dodge before the bet satisfied. So between the two strategies we just played, we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. Not bad, right? If you could repeat this process, which I'm able to repeat this process, when you can dodge your don't at an 8-to-1 ratio, should work pretty good, right? So let's see what we ended up winning, right? After the minus 300. No big deal. We'll see what happens. All right. 100. So even after losing that 300, you'd still have made 4, 550, 565, so 265 up. That's you can live with that. I could live with that at least. Not bad. That's actually wonderful, really. Especially if you can dodge the 5 at that rate, or at least the combinations you're trying to dodge. If you can do them at that rate, you're going to be pretty successful with that. I like it. You know what's funny to me? This is one of the things that's kind of funny to me is people are so opposed to the Iron Cross, yet they have no problem betting 6 bets across the board. That always kind of that gets me a little bit. Like it's that's a weird one to me. You don't have a problem betting 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, but you do have a problem betting 4 bets. Like I don't know, I've just never really grasped it, and I know some of it is the 5, 6, and 8 in the field, the interaction between those two on the wins, but you gain all the other combinations too. Like I've just never really understood the parallel there, why one is okay for most people and one is like looked down upon. Like I don't never really understood that negativity toward it. Besides the fact that the field, if you're rolling 5, 6, and 8s, costs you. But if you play it at the right ratio, if you play it at the right ratio, it doesn't affect you that way negatively. But anyways, I don't know. But I've always been a proponent for it. Lay 90 for 150, 3 hits and down. Plug the 9 for another 25. Okay, lay the 9 for 150. 3 hits and down. So I guess lay the 9 and then a cross betting, right? I need a little more explanation of what you want done there. Okay, so with the Iron Cross, gotcha. I got you. So we're leaving off the 5. Is that we're leaving the 5 off? Gotcha. So it's a broken cross. This is what people refer to as the broken cross. So this one's interesting here because 6 and 8, 90, 50 field. So this what's interesting here is the don't doesn't cover the bets. And so the 7 hurts you here if you don't get some wins. Now, I want to explain why I don't like this type of play. Because you can, right, but you can play against the 7. You can play against the 7 and only have 6 losers. In this case, we have 4 losers and 6 losers until we cover that 150. So for the 3 hits and down, we have 10 ways to lose versus 6 ways to lose that you could just play against the 7. So this is one of the reasons why I don't like to play this way. If I'm going to play a don't type bet, a dark bet, I want it to cover all my light bet because of this, because I don't want to create more ways to lose. What I'm doing with the don't is I'm creating less ways to lose. And so I don't actually like this style. I'll roll it because it's 3 hits and down, see if I can dodge the 9, just because I'm curious if I can keep up what I'm doing. And there's actually 4 other ways to lose here too, because if you roll the 5, you actually lose this. So actually, there's a lot about this that I think is negative. This would be a hard strategy to maintain. And so I don't know if this is something you play and have success with. If you do, you must do it really well, because there's 14 ways to lose for the first 3 rolls. There's 14 ways to lose money. That's like you're putting yourself out there if you're giving yourself that many ways to lose. That's just my personal opinion on this. That's like kind of my... But this is just this is where I'm at with this. I'm not knocking your strategy or whatever it is. I'm just saying that this style of play, you're creating more losers, not less. And I don't prefer that. But let's see if I can dodge the 9, because I'm curious. We'll start our next run of this. All right, I'm going to go 6s on top, 3s in the middle. One, two, three. $50 winner. All right, next roll. Five, three, eight. It's going to win 55. So it's going to net 55. Three, one, four. It's going to win 50. All right, that's the third hit. So after the third hit, I turn the iron cross off and I place that money on there, or I roll to the 7, put 125 on the 9? Why? Why not just pull the lay down? I don't understand. This isn't a don't bet. This is a lay bet. So why not just pull it down? Like, I'm confused about that. Like, in fact, most casinos won't let you do this, what you're asking to do right here. They're not going to let you place and lay a bet at the same time. Now, if it's a don't bet, which is stuck out there kind of, they'll let you do it. But in a lay bet, I don't think most places I know won't let you do this. I don't understand why you wouldn't just pull it down. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Explain this to me. Because most of the casinos I've played at in my life won't let you place and lay a bet. They'll let you play a don't and a place bet. And they'll let you play a pass line and a lay bet, but not place and lay. See, I like the idea of just turning the cross off here because you've made the money here. I like that. I like that because now you go for the 7 and you've already, so no matter what, you're a $5 winner, no matter what happens right here. So I'm going to roll for that. We're going to go 6s on top, 3s in the middle. Oh, I failed us. Oh, and rolled the 6-3 at that. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's actually put this one down here because it's a different thing. Oh, the 9 wrecked me. Now, if you were still playing lacrosse, you'd win a little bit back, right? But anyways, so that's 8 out of 10 I got right. I'll take that. Take that all day long. Oh, ugly 9. I'll be honest, guys, like in my practice for this, the 9 has been my bane. And it doesn't make any sense because it's the exact same for all of them. And let me explain what I mean, besides the 4 and 10. Because on the even numbers, I hedge out the hard way. So it's just 2 combinations on those ones, right? 2 combinations on each one that I'm dodging. And so it doesn't make any sense that I struggle more with the 9. But if I tracked out all the ones I've lost on, I'm pretty sure the 9 is spiked way up. Like there's something to do with the 9. But I don't have any problem with the 5. And it doesn't make any sense because it's the same roll. Because the way you set it up, the 5 and the 9 are essentially the same because of the way the dice are built. So it's just a weird, I don't know, for whatever reason I struggle with the 9. Don't have a problem with any of the other ones. They're pretty consistent, but the 9, just a problem. In fact, the one we lost on before I did this, was a 9. It was a 6-3 too. So again, I don't know why. There's something weird there. Something weird. Whatever, just variance. Just how it works. But I'll take 8 out of 10 any day of the week. So tell me this, guys, right now. If you could replicate what I just did, you can make money on the don't, right? Like, if you can do what I did, I won 8 out of 10, satisfied in my favor. I actually only won 7, but I had one come out winner as well in the way we played. So it ended up being 8 out of 11, basically, in the way it would pay out. But, with the don't play we did, where we just stacked the don't, we ended up winning. We had an $800 win on one of those bets. So, again, that paid out more than double. The 5 and 9, the 5 Iron Cross paid out. And if we played this a few more times against the 9, I'm probably going to win a couple $100 most likely, because I'm not going to hit the 9 every time, right? Yeah, it's a weird deal on. I don't know. Like it's almost like the overall variance of craps, and this is gonna get really philosophical here, in the whole universe. Like, I guess some people are responsible for rolling these numbers and some people are the overall variance, right? Because it's still got to meet that same pyramid, right? Overall, all the craps rolls in the world, if you factored them all up, if you had a thing that showed you all the craps rolls in the pyramid, it would match that 36 roll pyramid. It's just the nature of the game. It's the nature of 6-sided cubes. So maybe everyone has their own specific group they need to roll more than everyone else. I don't know. It's a weird deal. Craps is a weird game sometimes. I've seen weird stuff happen on the game, just odd runs of numbers. In fact, it wasn't the other day, it was today. I was practicing this afternoon, and I rolled 4-2, the 4 and the 2, 5 times in a row. Now, I rolled the same exact dice set, which was 6-5-4-2, but I rolled the 4-2 5 times in a row. That doesn't make any sense. Like, there's so many factors there, variables, where that should not happen. It's not just rolling the 6 5 times in a row, which is insane. It's rolling the specific 4-2, which makes it even wilder. Like, the odds of that, I have no idea what the odds are but they're not good. They're really low. So, because 3 7s of any kind in a row is 0.0006%. Like it's less than a percent chance that you roll 3 7s in a row. So rolling 5 4 2s specifically in a row is really lottery number stuff. But I did it today. It was odd. I even looked at my wife. I was like, what in the heck is going on with these dice? And sometimes it makes me think that maybe the dice are getting wore out. And that could be the case. So your dice, if you're starting to get a lot of like repetitive numbers and you use the same dice for a long time, your dice could be a little wobbled. You know, they could be a little off, and they're not giving you a true result. It does happen, and especially guys that roll a lot of dice at their house. Eventually, those dice wear out, and they'll start not being true. I've definitely have sets of dice that I rolled so much that they don't give me a true result. I have one set of dice somewhere that rolls a lot of 11s, like a whole bunch, like way more than it should, and it has something to do with the way they got wore out. At least that's what I'm attributing it to. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. Whoever stayed the whole time and watched me for an hour and 11 minutes, thank you. This is late in the day. I tried to dodge the come out 7 by setting the point and using the DC. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, awesome, Waylon. But anyways, guys, thank you for your time. This is Jacob from Wager Me This.